Everyone. I would like to welcome you to my IVF Answers platform. Tonight is the first event of the year, so I would like to wish you a Happy New Year as well. My name is Linda. I am working at a Gynem IVF clinic in Prague as a team leader. I was working for 4 years as international client coordinator for English, French, and Serbian speaking patients coming for an IVF treatment to Prague. So I am here to present and tell you something more about Gynem clinic, about egg donation, and about egg donation specifically in the Czech Republic and at Gynem. Tonight we have the topic Meet Your Clinic. So really I will be talking about the egg donation at Gynem specifically, okay? Here you can I just prepared a photo overview about Gynem. So on top left, you can see our founders, father and son. So we are a family-owned clinic. On the bottom left side, you can see our team of doctors. On the right, our new beautiful building. And then our team of embryologists and some paintings on our hallway. Regarding the Czech law, so assisted reproduction in the Czech Republic is possible only for women being, women having a male partner and being maximum 49 years old. So in fact, the patient has to undergo the treatment before they turn 49. So it's said that 48 years and 365 days. As I already mentioned, so the treatment is only possible for female having a male partner. That's why the treatment is not possible for same-sex couples and for single women. Single women in the Czech Republic can undergo the treatment only having an egg freezing. It is not possible to do IVF It is not possible to do IVF for single women, unfortunately. Gender selection is not legal in the Czech Republic unless the couple has a medical reason for it. I forgot to mention that you are free to write your questions during the presentation. So now I will have a short presentation about the egg donation at Gynem. And during this presentation, you are welcome to type your questions in the chat. And then after the presentation, I will get back to them. Regarding the donation, so according to Czech law, the donation is strictly anonymous. I know that in different countries it's different, so it is possible that not in all European countries the donation is anonymous, but in the Czech Republic it's strictly anonymous. What does that mean? It means that you cannot meet your donor, you cannot see photos of your donor, you cannot see photos even when they were children. And what we often get questions is that if you can come with your sister to donate your eggs. That is unfortunately not possible, since then donation is really not anonymous. What are the treatment options at Gynem? As I already mentioned, so egg freezing is possible, so this is the only treatment for single women. Then we can proceed with intrauterine insemination, with IVF, with own eggs and sperm, then egg donation with own sperm, and then of course embryo donation, so donated both eggs and sperm. To proceed, what are the frequently asked questions regarding egg donation in the Czech Republic and specifically at Gynem? How do I book a consultation? Do I need to come over? With the consultation, you can either complete an online form or you can call us, you can get in touch with our coordinators directly. and they will book either an online or in-person consultations with our IVF specialists. Both options are free of charge. So you can choose what you prefer. There are definitely some pre-treatment tests that are necessary before your consultations and then before the treatment itself. Before the consultation, it would be good to have, in case of egg donation, to have an vaginal ultrasound and to have a semen analysis of your partner. Both these tests should be maximum 1 year old. Another question. I do not speak Czech. Is it possible to communicate in English? Of course. We have a team of international client coordinators who are there to assist you during the treatment or throughout the whole process from the beginning until the end. So English, or they also speak German, French, Italian, Serbian, Russian, Spanish. Our doctors also speak English, so there is definitely no language barrier at Gynem. How many times do I need to come over? So it depends if you proceed with an online or personal consultation. Obviously, if you have a personal consultation, then you need to come more times, meaning twice for the personal consultation and then for the treatment itself. If you would like to, if you are able to have all these tests done with your gynecologist, with your doctor, then you send us the results, you complete a medical questionnaire, and we can proceed with the online consultation. So then we can prepare everything at distance, and you can come only for the treatment itself. Okay, so that is the answer, once or twice, depending on the type of the consultation. When do I have to travel to Czechia? So for treatment itself, if you are able to undergo an ultrasound during the treatment with your gynecologist, which would be approximately the 10th day of your cycle, then it is possible to come only once to Prague and for 1 week, which would be just before the fertilization of the donor eggs, which would be the same day we need your partner's sperm sample. That's why you obviously need to be in Prague. So that would be the thing. So you would come depending on the egg retrieval date of the donor. So that is the same day we need your partner's semen sample. And you would stay for approximately one week. If you are not able if, for example, it is difficult for you to get an ultrasound with your doctor during the treatment to check your endometrium, then you would come the 10th day approximately of your cycle to undergo the ultrasound at Gynem. How long do I need to stay in Prague? So that would depend if you managed to get the ultrasound at home or not. If you managed, then you would stay for approximately 1 week. If you haven't, then approximately 10 days, maybe even 14 days, depending on obviously your reaction to the treatment, because we are preparing your endometrial lining, and also on the donor's reaction to the stimulation. So approximately 10 days to 14 days. How long does it take for me to start with the treatment? That depends. We have 2 options. We can either use fresh donor eggs or frozen donor eggs. If we have matching donor eggs frozen at the clinic in the lab, then you are free to start with the treatment immediately. If we do not have, if you prefer to have fresh donor eggs, then first it takes some time for us to find a matching donor. Then we need to synchronize your cycles, meaning that you should get them. You should have the cycle at the same time. So that takes some time. Either usually the donor takes birth control to manage her cycle, so that you get it at the same time and then you start. So it might take 2 to 3 months to start with the treatment. To get to another slide, some information about our egg donors. All our donors are Caucasian, which means that they have a white skin. They're all Czech. Their age is between 18 and 33. They are definitely going through mandatory examination. So they have a full health check. They have a mental health check. They have a gynecological exam. They have genetic testing. I will tell you something more about that. They're definitely going through infectious disease testing, so standard STDs, and we are going through their family medical history. This is important because all donors need to know their parents and they need to know their family background so that we can go through it. Moving forward to the other slide about the genetic testing. So you can see all donors go through the karyotype, mutation, cystic fibrosis, muscular atrophy, and hearing disorder. So these are mandatory genetic testing. Some donors go through more genetic testing depending on their personal and family medical history. Okay, what information will I know about my donor? So as I said, it is completely anonymous, strictly anonymous. You cannot see the pictures. So what can you actually know? You can know their blood type and Rh factor. You can know their eye and hair color. You can know their body weight and height. You can know their age, their level of education, line of work, personal hobbies and interests, as well as if they already have their own kids. These are those all information you will get about your donor, and then you can choose if you can say if this is the donor you would like to proceed, so to have the treatment, or we continue searching. I would compare the search of the donor to finding your perfect vacation. So you are actually putting all the filters. I would like to be close to the sea. I would like to have the sea view, to be close to the city center. Then I put the budget and everything, and then actually order the size of the room, private bathroom, blah, 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 and so on. And then you actually find out that there is nothing. There is zero at the end because there is no perfect match with the donor either. So you have to then compromise on something. Okay, so if it is important for you that the eye and hair color is the same as yours, okay, then it's possible that the donor might have no kids, or that I don't know, that their blood type is different, which is okay. This point is quite important, but maybe their weight is not ideal. You also need to another thing. So with the you need to know that with the blood type and Rh factor, it might not. So there is no medical reason why you should have a donor with the same blood type as yours. It is not dangerous for you if you have an embryo created from a donor and your partner, and the donor has a different blood type. There is no medical reason. The only reason is that if you are not planning to tell your child that that you had a treatment with donor eggs, then it is important for you to have the same or relevant blood type as the donor as yours. Otherwise, there is no medical reason. So in case that you are planning on telling your child that you had this treatment, you can already think about it. Or if it's a no-go, then definitely you need to have the same blood type. But it is not, there is no medical reason, which might be a game changer, of course, because then the blood type is is a big factor in this case. And then since there are quite many blood types, then it might be difficult. You might have a great match. You might have a match saying that there is a young donor. She has the same eye and height and hair color. She has the same height as you. She even, I don't know, plays the same music instrument as you. She does the same sport. She has kids, and then she has a different blood type. Okay, so try to think about this if it's important to you or not. Another thing you should think about when choosing a donor is that you need to realize that, I don't know, for example, we have a different BMI. Czech people have a different BMI than the BMI that is typical in, let's say, France. I don't know. My experience with French people is that their height is they're not that tall, but their weight is really low, so they're really thin, which is not the case with Czech women. You know, Czech women have boobs and ass, and so the typical BMI is different than in France. So of course, you might not. Like French people have difficulties to find a donor that is matching their body type in the Czech Republic. Just to say. Okay, so moving forward to our price list and to our packages, egg donation packages. So we have two types of egg donation packages: a basic package and the comfort package. The difference is obviously the price. As you can see, one is for 4,900 euros, the other one is for 5,900 euros. Another difference is that if you choose to use frozen eggs, with the basic package, you get 6 to 7 eggs. With the comfort package, you get 8 to 10. So there is a difference in the number of eggs. Then a big difference is if you would like to proceed with fresh donor eggs, then you can choose only the comfort package. We do not offer the basic package with fresh eggs. The conditions are that with the fresh eggs, you get all eggs retrieved during that cycle from that donor. So all of those eggs will be used only for you. And there is a difference in guarantee. So with the basic package, you get one good quality embryo. That is a guarantee. Of course, there might be more, but that is the guarantee. And with the comfort package, you have a guarantee of 2 blastocysts. So 2 blastocyst stage embryos. What is included in the basic egg donation package? So as I said, the guarantee of 1 good quality embryo, you get the airport transport, you get an assistance of the personal coordinator. As I said, the consultation, the pre-treatment tests, STDs, the donor selection testing remuneration, and the medication for her, all is included in the price. Your ultrasound scans and consultations during your treatment, semen collection for your partner, the fertilization via ICSI, and the prolonged cultivation of embryos. In the package, 1 embryo transfer is included in the price. In case you would like to proceed in the future with a frozen embryo transfer, this transfer is not included in the price. Then, in the comfort package, everything that was included in the basic package is included. The price is 5,900 euros. And the difference is that you have a guarantee of 2 blastocyst stage embryos for the transfer. Again, one embryo transfer is included in the price. And 1 donor exclusively for 1 couple. What does that mean? It means that during this cycle, all eggs will be booked only for you. This is the case of the fresh when you use fresh eggs. It doesn't mean that the donor cannot donate to somebody else in the future, or that hasn't already donated for somebody else. Okay, during this cycle, it means that all eggs retrieved will be fertilized for you. Okay, but there is a guarantee condition. So that we can guarantee one good quality embryo for the basic package or two placental stage embryos for the comfort package, there is a guarantee condition, and that is that the sperm of the partner has to be of a sufficient quality. More specifically, there has to be motile sperm, and the conclusion of the semen analysis cannot be teratozoospermia. So the morphology has to be normal. And the guarantee cannot be applied if surgically retrieved sperm were used. Okay, payment conditions. So as I already mentioned, we have a free online or personal consultation with our IVF specialist, and the personal coordinator assistant is included, plus the pre-treatment test as well. Then, before we can proceed to the protocol, to the medication, to the prescription of the medication, and to the donor search, the deposit has to be paid. The deposit is for 2,000 euros. This can be paid either at the clinic or via bank transfer. As soon as the deposit is paid, we can proceed with the medication, we can start preparing, and the donor search starts. The rest of the package is paid before the donor egg fertilization. In most of the cases, it is paid at the reception of the clinic. And then all extra laboratory methods are paid just before the embryo transfer. What is not included in the price of the package, any of those packages, is, which is very important, the medication for the recipient. So the medication for you, for the patient, which is approximately 150 euros. In most of the cases, you do not need injections. So there is no stimulation of ovaries. The preparation is different. We are only preparing your endometrial lining to accept the embryo. So you are only taking pills. So the medication is not included in the price. And then extra laboratory methods such as pre-selection methods, which are 450 euros. Then embryo glue, assisted hatching, sperm freezing, sperm donation, and embryo freezing, that is important to note, which is 500 to 700 euros. All these extra laboratory methods are available on our website. You can check our price list. It's all there. We have a special package from our laboratory. It's called Optimized Laboratory Package. This package costs 1,200 euros. And everything that can our lab do for your embryos, the sperm, eggs, as well as embryos, is included in the price. They don't ask you, they do the best what they can do for the eggs, for the sperm, and the embryos. So standard things that are included in the packages, they are included, of course, but then time-lapse is included in the price, 2 pre-selection methods, spindle observation method, sperm mobile, assisted hatching, and embryo glue. All of this is included in the price of this package. Again, for 1,200 euros. What is not included in this package, careful, is the embryo freezing, which is approximately, it depends on the number of embryos that we are freezing, but it's 500 to 700 euros. Okay, there are some egg donation alternatives. I wanted to mention them here. So, as I mentioned, in most of the cases, our patients undergoing an egg donation treatment, they are taking medication to prepare their endometrium. In some of the cases, it is possible to do a natural cycle, so no medication. There are pluses and minuses. You can ask, you can book a consultation with our doctor and then ask about the pluses and minuses. Of course, minus is that it is possible that the lining won't be sufficient, but there is a plus. Of course, it's not hard on your body, so it is more natural, and it works. It works not in all of the cases, but it's one of the alternatives. Another option is the tandem, which is we are fertilizing both your own eggs and donor eggs. This type of treatment is usually recommended to women who don't have any experience, so they don't have any fertility treatment history, and they are already recommended to undergo a treatment with donor eggs. There are several reasons, but in this case, this patient has no experience and they feel like they should at least try it with their own eggs before they move on to donor eggs. So we understand it is I cannot tell you the examples when it happens, but there are cases, and then it is recommended in case that really it is recommended to undergo the treatment with donor eggs. Since the doctor says that there is a really low chance of success with own eggs. However, the patient insists on at least trying. We understand. So there is this option to have a backup. So the day of the egg retrieval, we thaw donor eggs. We fertilize both own ends as well as donor eggs. And then we wait, so we cultivate both of those separately, of course. And then the day of the transfer, if there is a viable, good quality embryo created from own eggs, then we transfer this, of course, with priority. In case there is no viable, good quality embryo created from own eggs, then we don't lose any time and we can already transfer the embryo created from donor eggs. So this is another option. Then we can use 2 to 3 egg donors in one cycle. It sounds odd, yes. However, we can see in the laboratory that sometimes there is a better match between some sperm and some eggs. So it is possible that if we use, let's say, two donors, donor eggs, we can, for example, have 4 donor eggs from one donor and 4 eggs from another donor. We fertilize all of those eggs with your partner's sperm, and then we see that some of the eggs or that eggs of one donor react better, that there is a better match. And then in the end, we have 2 good blastocysts, that we have 2 quality blastocysts from one donor and nothing from the other. So this is usually recommended to women who already have experience with donor eggs and it never worked, that we were never able to create a good quality blastocyst. So this is one of the options that the laboratory recommends, since we can see that there is actually really sometimes a better match between some eggs and some sperm. As I mentioned, the tandem, there is another option also for sperm. So we can use with donor eggs, and then if you would like to undergo the treatment with own sperm, but not even the sperm quality is good, then, or ideal, then we can fertilize half of the eggs with own sperm and half of the eggs with donor sperm. And then, as I said, with the tandem, if there is a good quality embryo at the end, we created with, or fertilized with own sperm, then we, of course, with priority, we transfer this one. If not, we have a fully donated embryo, yes, but we do not lose time and we can immediately transfer this one. And then, of course, there is a full embryo donation treatment, another option. We have at Gynem diagnostic testing available as well. We do hysteroscopy, both operative and diagnostic. We do genetic testing at the clinic, pre-implantation genetic testing, so on embryos, day 5, day 6. And we do immunological testing as well, so natural killer cells. What is very important to us is that you understand the process, so that you understand what is going on, so that you can relax, you can trust us, of course. So we have regular consultations with IVF specialists as well as embryologists during your treatment. Every day after, so the day of the egg retrieval, you have a consultation with both of them. Or the egg retrieval of the donor. So the day of the fertilization, you have a consultation to see about the result of the semen analysis, as well as to see how the eggs were retrieved, so about their quality or how they were thawed. And then each day of the cultivation, you get an update. And then the day of the transfer, you have another consultation, both with the IVF specialist and embryologist. Lately, we're working also on a holistic approach. So we have a psychologist at our clinic who speaks English and German. We offer acupuncture, fertility acupuncture just before and after transfer. We have an acupuncturist from the US, and we offer hypnosis as well. Soon we will have a fertility yoga and nutritional therapist as well. Why I am mentioning these is because, especially with the donor eggs, we can see that sometimes it is not a bad idea to think about to talk with a psychologist before you undergo this type of treatment, because we understand that it's not easy to accept donor cells in general, talking about donor eggs or donor sperm, to accept this, and you do not usually have somebody to talk about this. This is something very intimate, and you don't want to talk about this with your friends, with your family. So this is a person that would listen, to give you advice, to tell you you are actually not the only one, and to give you advice on how to approach this and to actually be able to undergo this treatment. So it is not a bad idea. Acupuncture also very recommended if you are a person that usually is nervous during the day of the transfer or anytime, then acupuncture is highly recommended. I can tell you will be relaxed as never before. So I definitely recommend. My personal advice. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention, and then we will slowly go to the to your questions. Here I am leaving you some information about the clinic, so where you can get in touch with us. If you just type Gynem to Google, you will also find us. So we won't be difficult to find. Okay, so let's proceed to your questions. There are quite some already. Wow. Okay, so which one is the oldest here? So I can see a question from Katarzyna. I wanted to display. Yes, thank you. Can you know donor's hair and eye color, height, weight, and level of education? Yes, as I have already mentioned in my presentation, you can know your donor's hair and eye color, height, weight, level of education, interests, age, blood type, and so on. Yes, you can. Thank you, Katarzyna. Then, Anna, is it possible to ask for max donor's age to be limited to 25, for example? Yes, it is also possible. However, you should know that you are really limiting your option or your there are not too many. Oh man, there are many donors, but not that many who will match your eye color, hair color, blood type, and so on. So if you limit this as well, then you might not have too much of a choice. And another thing is that, of course, if you, for example, would like to have an educated, meaning university degree donor, then most likely she won't be 25, she will be older. So you just need to think about these things as well. Yeah, but it is possible, yes. Then I can see a question from Evelina. Okay, I would like to display this. In some countries, the fertility clinic is required to make a match based on phenotypic animal similarities. Something is that done and or solely reliant on the patient pick based on the criteria that you're presenting. So we are not doing any immunological similarity, no, but the phenotype, yes. So if you choose to. We are not required to actually match you. You can, if you, I don't know, if you are both looking as me, so brown eyes, brown hair, you can have a donor who has blonde hair and blue eyes. It is absolutely fine with us if you choose. Okay. Another question from Angela. What about average, somewhat athletic body type? Is that normal? Normal athletic type, yes. It depends what is a normal athletic type, meaning it can be different in each country. You know, I already imagine somebody in the US will be quite, you know, big, and then athletic type in, for example, France is also different. So it would be the best if you mention the height, the weight, and then we will see what we can do. But yes. Okay, Anna, how many embryos is expected with 8 to 10 eggs and normal sperm quality? Good that you're mentioning normal sperm quality. So obviously it would be a surprise for some, but it happens that some patients think that if they have 8 to 10 eggs, they will have 8 to 10 embryos. It happens very rarely, but it happens. But no, in most of the cases, with this number of eggs, we have a guarantee of 2 blastocyst stage embryos. But in most of the cases, I can tell you, I think it was about 83% of the cases we have an embryo to be frozen, so that you have another attempt, a third embryo. So in most of the cases, we have more than 2 blastocyst stage embryos with the comfort package, so with 8 to 10 eggs. Yeah, so I can tell you 2-3 good quality blastocyst stage embryos are a standard for 8 to 10 eggs with the normal sperm quality. Good question. Oh wow, okay, we have a question in French. However, good that I speak French, so I can tell you good evening. Having African origin with black skin, can I have a donor with Caucasian type? With my partner who is a Caucasian. Yes, we have a couple that is they're both Africans, and they have a donor who is a Caucasian, and they're fine with that. Okay, you need to I will display it. You just need to realize that it's about you. It's not about us. There is no medical reason why you can't have a donor with Caucasian type. So it is fine with us. Alors oui, c'est possible. C'est possible. We continue with Karen. My partner has frozen sperm. Can we use that? This is not rare. It is possible to transfer frozen sperm from different countries. It depends where it is located. If it's located somewhere in the EU, even if it's located in the UK, it is possible to transport a frozen sperm to our country, to our clinic. We are cooperating with an agency who does the transport of frozen biomaterials or cells. So it is possible. However, you need to keep in mind that we will need some documents to be or the consent to be signed by your partner, either at our clinic or with a notary, or it just needs to be officially identified before we can proceed with the treatment. So it depends on the reason why it is frozen, because of the quality, one of the reasons, or because, for example, the partner cannot travel or he needs visa. So it depends. However, since the law says that it is possible, the treatment only for couples, your partner needs to sign all documents. either at the clinic or officially identified in your country, and then we will need the original document. But yes, it is possible to transport your partner's frozen sperm to our clinic. Okay, Anna. Morphology of which stage of spermatozoa must be normal. So to be for the sperm result to be normal, not teratosospermia, it needs to be, the morphology needs to be 96%. Yes, so at least 4% of the sperm needs to be morphologically normal. It sounds crazy, 4%, but you need to realize that there are millions of sperms, most of the cases. Okay, so if there is 4% of the sperm that is morphologically okay, morphologically normal, then the result is not teratosospermia. Okay, when choosing sperm donation because of sperm problem, is the guarantee available again? That is a question from Larissa. And if we want to use on sperm with teratosospermia, but we book a selection method, can we get the guarantee again? Okay, so if you use a sperm donation, then the guarantee is valid. In case you use a pre-selection and your partner's result is of the semen analysis is teratosospermia, then unfortunately the guarantee is not valid. We are doing something more so we are trying to do our best with what we have. So with the sperm, we're trying to do our best. We are doing the pre-selections, but we are still choosing among those that are not morphologically ideal. Okay, so we're just picking. Which means that unfortunately, no, the guarantee is not valid in this case. We highly recommend it, but to use the pre-selection. So in most of the cases, our patients use the optimized laboratory package. But unfortunately, the guarantee is not valid. It doesn't mean that we won't have those embryos created. We have cases when the morphology was 99%, so it meant that 1% of the sperm was okay, and it was not only teratosospermia, it was astenoteratosospermia. And still we had 3 beautiful blastocysts, and then in the end our patient got pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby, so beautiful healthy baby. So it doesn't mean that it's not possible and that you won't have one or even more good quality blastocysts, but we cannot guarantee it. Let's move on to Paula. How many embryos are typically transferred? In most of the cases, we recommend to transfer 1 embryo. Thank you for the question, Paula. It is a very good question. So in most of the cases, we recommend 1 embryo. Statistically, I can tell you that when we transfer 2 embryos, 2 blastocysts, and the results, and we have a positive pregnancy test, 20% in 20% of the cases, our patients gave birth to twins, which is quite a high number. But yes, if we think about it, we recommend 1 embryo transfer. One of the reasons is the health of the patient. Some of the patients, they already had a C-section or they had a surgery on their uterus. So in that case, it is highly recommended to transfer only 1 embryo. Or cumulatively, if you think about it, statistically, our embryologists recommend to transfer only 1 embryo because the chances are higher if you use each embryo used separately, rather than if you transfer 2 at the same time, because the difference is maybe 5 to 10%, but then you have 2 attempts, which is the chances cumulatively are way higher. So we recommend both because of the health reasons and statistically to transfer 2 embryos separately. Okay, so 1 and then 1. In most of the cases, it happens at our clinic, so we transfer 1 embryo. You can also decide on depending on the quality. If the quality is 5AA, don't think about it, transfer 1 embryo. Another thing, what sperm selection method would you recommend for sperm with high DNA fragmentation when using donor eggs? So first of all, I'm not sure if I'm going to tell your name correctly, Yira. I'm not an embryologist. However, from my experience, I cannot tell you which sperm selection we would recommend. But what I can tell you is that I heard that many times. Embryologists told me that there is no cure to DNA fragmentation. We cannot do too much to it. But what we can do, what is recommended, is to shorten the time between the egg retrieval and not the egg retrieval, sorry. When you give us the sample and we fertilize the eggs. That's why when we know that our male patient has a high DNA fragmentation, then we invite him to give us the sample later, and we try to do faster pre-selection and then to immediately fertilize the eggs. So the longer the sperm waits for it to be injected into the egg, the more influence it has, the high DNA fragmentation on the sperm quality. Okay, so this is what we recommend, to shorten the time between the semen sample when it's taken and then the fertilization. But unfortunately, I cannot tell you what type of pre-selection would be recommended. I'm not an embryologist. If you would like to, you can contact us on our website and the online form, and then we will get back to you. Okay. If I have a blood from Julia, if I have blood Rh minus, is it necessary for me to have egg donor with the same blood type? And well, that is one thing that is actually recommended. Yes, that is one thing that is actually recommended. It is better. It is not a must, but it is recommended. Another question from Hira. Does a natural embryo transfer and frozen embryo transfer cycle lead to a higher chance of success than a medicated one? We don't. The natural cycle is quite a recent thing that is done. So there's not much like statistics, but lately it has good results. Good results. How to say that? Lately, doctors decide to do this because there are not that many side effects, I would say. But statistically, I cannot answer this question. We don't have the numbers to actually tell you. To be honest, I'm sorry, Ira. So, Veronica, I'm diagnosed with adenomyosis. Do you have experience in your center, and how would you prepare a donor transfer? Again, I'm not an embryologist. I'm not a doctor, so I cannot answer your question regarding how we would prefer a donor transfer. But I can tell you that we have experience, and it would be the best to ask the doctor specifically about your case, because if I remember correctly, there are more phases of adenomyosis, so it depends on your personal medical history. That's why I would recommend to have a consultation. The consultation is free of charge, so you can proceed with an online one, and we will see what we can do and how we would proceed. Nadine, what is the upper age limit for IVF treatment with your clinic? We're looking for egg donation. We're in our upper 50s. Unfortunately, that is not possible. Our age limit is So you can be maximum 48 years old. And I unfortunately cannot give you a recommendation for a country where it's still possible. I think that in Slovakia there's no age limit, but I cannot tell you for sure. So unfortunately, we at our clinic can no longer help you. From Yira, do donors below the age of 30 provide better equality than those who are older than 30? That is a difficult question. Again, I'm not an embryologist. It varies. It varies a lot. So sometimes we have donors who donate 5 times and they have great numbers, great quality, and then obviously they are already 28, 29. And then sometimes we have a donor who is 24, she donates, and there are 2 eggs and they are poor quality. So I can imagine that the embryologist will tell you it should be statistically maybe a better number, but the thing is that we guarantee something. So if we do not manage to get a good number from the donor, and we do not manage to create those embryos that we promised, that we guaranteed, you get a new donor. So yeah, those are all of them 30. That is how I can unfortunately answer your question. Cannot give you more details. I came too late, so I missed some information. No problem. It was Georgiana. Could you tell me, please, for a tandem of 2 donors, if I can a specific number of, but be fresh eggs? With the tandem, we do not offer tandem with fresh donor eggs. We only offer it with frozen donor eggs. There is a simple reason for this, and it's that it would be almost impossible to get 2 women having, even if with having the same stimulation, having you can personalize the stimulation as much as you want, but it would be very difficult to get 2 women having the egg retrieval the same day. So that's why we do not offer tandem with fresh eggs. We only offer it with frozen eggs. Yeah. With frozen eggs, you choose your donor and you know about the number of eggs that we thaw. What is the age limit? Another French question. So what is the age limit? 48 ans. If the couple needs to be married, non, vous ne devez pas être marié. You do not have to be married. It needs to be a couple. You do not have to be married. Another question, please, from Georgiana. Some clinics in America use this technique of double transfer at 4 to 5 day distance when the recipient suffers from some immune issue. Could this procedure be applied in some cases, or could be taken into account if a person chooses? We have. So I know that we have already done a asymmetric transfer, asynchronic transfer. I hope it's called like that in English as well. So that we have transferred 5-day embryos. One of them was frozen, one of them was fresh, on the day 3 and day 5. So in fact, the age of the embryo was the same, but we transferred them at a different time. If there were results, well, it depends. You can so that you can personalize this. We do ERA test, endometrium test, to see when it's the best time to transfer the embryo, because it can be different in your case. Yeah, this is one of the tests that you can do to see if it's necessary in your case. Or yes, if a patient prefers, we can do this. It is possible. There are quite many questions. I'm not sure if I'm going to manage. Mo, is embryo glue good for fibroids? I unfortunately cannot answer this question. I'm not an IVF specialist. meaning I'm not a doctor. So in general, embryo glue is a good thing. It doesn't have a bad influence on your transfer. And statistically, there are maybe 3% better results. So it cannot harm your body. It's something extra. It is, yeah, that's how it is. But with the fibroids, unfortunately, I cannot answer this question. Again, you can get in touch with us, and one of our IVF specialists will get in touch with you. I'm sorry, Mo. Georgiana, what is the limited age for the donor program at your clinic? Yes. So in general, according to Czech law, donors can be maximum 35 years old. At our clinic, we only accept donors to donate till they're 33. So 18 to 33. Another question from Grain. Sorry, I had previously failed IVF and then did egg donation, which failed also. I did have endocytosis on my ovary, which wasn't removed before any treatment. Should I have been checked to see if endometriosis anywhere else? I am not a doctor. Unfortunately, I cannot answer your question. Again, I would recommend you to book a consultation with our doctor and you will find out more. The consultation is free of charge. I mean, go ahead. Nicole, can I purchase eggs and have them sent to the States? Unfortunately, not. That is not possible. How many egg donors do you have in total, roughly? Can we have eye shape, almond, round, down, face shape, nose shape, short side or not? I don't have recent information. I know that we had more than 800, no, it must be already 1,000 donors. Not all of them are currently interested in donating, of course, because either they already donated or they just donated recently or they have a break, meaning that they maybe are on the maternal leave or something. So approximately 1,000 donors, definitely. It is not possible to choose your face shape, size of the nose. Unfortunately, no. You can share pictures of yourself with us, and then our donor coordinator will if they have the donor pictures, then they can check. However, in most of the cases, this is really not possible. As I already mentioned, what is possible: eye color, hair color, weight, height, blood type. Yeah. Mo, another question: on which days of cycle is the blastocyst transfer performed? So we transfer day 5. Day 5. Mo, does the egg donor receive feedback as to whether her frozen eggs have been used or whether they have worked? Unfortunately, not. This is so the anonymity is both ways. To that extent that the donor comes to the clinic, she has the egg retrieval, and then after she leaves the clinic, she has no idea what is happening to her eggs. That is according to the law in the Czech Republic. Grain, I had previously fed. That's the same question. Unfortunately, not. And the last question. Wow, the timing is perfect. GC Han, do fresh donor eggs and sperm give better success rates than frozen eggs and sperm? As for the sperm, yes, I can confirm that fresh sperm is definitely better than frozen sperm in general. When the quality is good, is normal, then both fresh and frozen sperm works well. With a poor quality sperm, frozen is not recommended. So we definitely recommend fresh sample for the sperm. As for fresh and frozen donor eggs, statistically, we can tell that the results are the same. So there are years when statistically fresh donor eggs are 2% better. With the frozen donor eggs, another year are 2% better. So the results are practically statistically the same. It's that the only difference is that we can see that with frozen donor eggs, sometimes they are a little bit slower. at the beginning, but it doesn't have any influence on the health or the both physical or mental health on the embryo or baby. Okay, so statistically, fresh donor or frozen donor eggs, there is at least at our clinic, there is no difference. Another fast question. Do you know that you can be the reason for failure when fresh donor eggs and good fresh sperm will result in no blastocysts? Oof. I think that is a very difficult question at the end. And again, I am not an embryologist. So yes, as I said, one of the reasons might be that the match is not the best. As I said, that some sperm quality and some sperm units and egg units, they do not match the best. So maybe it would be recommended to try another donor. What else can be there? I mean, the quality, if it's a good quality fresh sperm sample and donor eggs in no blastocysts. Okay, so there's not about the implantation. Difficult question. I am not an embryologist. I can only tell you from my experience, and that is usually it was recommended to try it with another egg donor. Yes, or to try because even if the quality of the sperm is good, you can use the semen pre-selection, because you are choosing the best units, or units of sperm. So that's why it is recommended, even if the quality is good, you are choosing the best. So that might be it. But it would be the best. Again, you can just get in touch with one of our with our international client coordinators, and we will book you a consultation, and you can talk to a specialist. I am unfortunately not. I am just the bridge to the doctor, just telling my experience about working for the 4 years as the international client coordinator. Okay, last question, Julia. Do you check the quality of the donor sperm? So we don't have our own sperm database, sperm donor database. We're cooperating with a sperm bank in Olomouc, in another city in the Czech Republic. The quality, so they are in charge of the search of the sample. They have, according to the law, they they have to go through a lot of testing, and everything has to be normal. Everything has to be good. So we are not checking the quality. I mean, we thaw the sperm, and we always find the samples, because it is the responsibility of the sperm bank. However, of course, in case it never happened, but in case we thaw the sperm, the donor sperm sample, and the quality wouldn't be good, then of course we wouldn't use it. We would inform the patient, and then they would choose a different donor, or we would just try maybe a different sample from the same donor. It might be that one sample wasn't ideal, but yeah, it shouldn't happen, and it never happened. So we didn't have to go through this. Always the quality was very good. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your attention. Maybe we will see each other at the clinic. It would be nice. Again, I would like to wish you all the best. I would like to wish you a fertile 2025, and yeah, have a lovely rest of the evening. It was nice seeing you here, and yeah, bye bye.